What's going on with you over there, my man? My guy?
Good. Doing good, man. Ready to break this down, man. Listen to your thoughts. You know what I mean? We got to figure this thing out, man.
Likewise, brother. Likewise.
Good.
Where do we begin at, man? Where do we begin? Guess we'll start, man. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. So,
you know where we got to start, man.
Where is that at, Coach? Where we want to start
QB
at?
spot, man. That backup QB spot. Well, who's it gonna be?
Yeah. We got a problem. We got a problem at quarterback, man, at the backup quarterback spot. I mean, just flat out, if we had to play somebody other than Dak Prescott, number 4, whew, man.
Not confident.
Yeah. So what do? We go out. We got to go out and get somebody. What we got to do?
Yeah, I mean, hey, man. I don't know what it is about these 4th round picks or something, but when my man, didn't we get him for a 4th round pick?
Oh, Milton on the trade.
Milton, yeah. What's going on, man?
Joe Milton. It may have been a 4th round trade. You trying to kind of correlate that to the Trey Lance?
The Mingo. I mean, it's. I don't understand, and the thing people were talking about early in camp, Dak better watch out. Dak might be in trouble.
Foolish.
It's crazy, man.
Cats was ready to run with it, man.
Yeah.
You know what? The more and more I do this thing and follow the boys, man, one thing you start to realize is, man, there'd be a lot of craziness that come out of that camp, man, that'd be reported. I mean, people be ready to jump off cliffs on the smallest things, man. So I'm not surprised by it. But I mean, what about the development side of it? Are you just saying that you feel like he's not ready to be the backup quarterback this year? Will Greer's not ready to be the quarterback backup this year. But what do you feel like with Joe Milton? Is he something that's promising? Or are you right back in the same position that you was with Trey Lance?
He's got work. I think he's trying to prove that he's a passer because some of those possessions last game and the game before last, he could have pulled it down, man.
Exactly.
He could have pulled it down and run for some yards, but I think he might be back there like I'm
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Like, yeah, he had some opportunities, man, especially when he was on those rollouts, getting on the outside where he could have just easily pulled it down and kept the chains moving. So a lot of times it's pressure for him. You know, I ain't gonna say just him, but sometimes quarterbacks who have a lot of athleticism, for them to try to maintain him within the pocket. But sometimes you just got to do what you do.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. And that's what he does. He's an athletic quarterback. He got a strong arm, but right now he don't know how to harness it. I mean, he doesn't know how to use it properly.
Yeah.
So you got some legs to keep the chains moving, man. I've been, of all of his drives, man, I'd be willing to bet close to half of them are 3 and outs. Now, that's not all his fault because some of this play calling is not helping him out. Being a young guy, really only his 3rd start in a professional game. So
yeah, and schotty alluded to that in his press conference about it wasn't all Joe's fault. He said that they got to help him with the play calling, but just look at 9 of 18 for 122 yards and an interception. It doesn't. On paper doesn't even look as bad as it was actually watching it. It was painful to watch. The whole thing is just the accuracy problem was still there. Check downs was still there. Recognizing blitzes, just like that's safety. I mean, if you go back and watch that tape, and we'll break that down a little later in the week, he had Mingo wide open on the slant, on the side that he was actually looking to. I guess it's just, he's just not there right now. And, unfortunately for us, that puts us in a bad position because I didn't see too much from Will Greer that made me feel any more comfortable about having him in there as the 2. So,
yeah, definitely not. And I guess that's why he's been the consistent 3. We know we don't need to see him. We know what we're getting from Will. We might get a pass or 2, but
yeah, I definitely think we need to go we got to be out there on the wire, man. We got to be looking and try to bring in at least a veteran or somebody that we feel comfortable that can at least move the change, man. It got hard to move against the Ravens, set what I would think is their second and third team defense. It was hard for us to get first downs. Hard.
We had 18 plays in the first half.
Time of
how are you going to evaluate that? And then with the bad quarterback play, how do you evaluate the tight receiver position, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
it makes it tough.
Go and be like, oh, that's a good route. You got separation. You'd have looked your way, you would have got them. But you can't. That's tough.
Yeah, it is, man. No joke, though, because that's probably how you're going to have to evaluate things. Looking at that game footage. Like, yep, if he was able to get the ball delivered to him, he had a good chance. You see he had that separation without seeing the actual catch. It was that bad, man. It was that bad. So, I think Joe has a lot of talent, but it's just, to me, it just feels like Trey Lance again, where we've just really got to, we've got to develop this guy, and now is not the time. So that's why we're calling for somebody else to be brought in to help us out. I don't even know who's there, man. I haven't looked as far as who would give us an opportunity even to come in and play backup. You have anybody in mind that you've looked at, Coach, that you thought maybe could be a possibility?
No, I haven't really looked at the rosters across the league and who's possible. But I'm guessing that's why we're saying Tolbert possible trade. You know what I mean, to get something, because that might be the only one we can get something back for. You know what I mean? He led us in receiving touchdowns, I believe, last year. So he could possibly fetch us a sixth, or maybe a quarterback. A backup or a 3 for him.
Yeah, two positions I think we both noted from watching that game was the quarterback, and we'll talk a little bit later about we need something on that D line and an interior, another D tackle or one technique. I thought the best pass, man, that Joe threw was the one to Cropper. That Cropper drop coming across, deep. That was a nice little deep behind the second, in the second wave behind the linebackers. Seemed like it had been a big play for us, but that was probably his best. Well, no. The Mingo pass, which he does great, is throw the deep ball.
He got lit up. He got lit up too.
He stood in there, so we'll give him credit for that, man. And unfortunately, I think Mingo's got an injury that might put him on the sideline. So that may be another thing that changes the quarterback room. The wide receiver room. If he has an injury, how that affects, who gets that spots. So. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely, Coach. I definitely agree with you, man. We got to do something, man, on that backup quarterback issue. We got to.
And you know what, man? It could be. I'm just thinking about this just right now. Mm-hmm. It could be maybe we're not seeing some of these receivers because we might be trying, or some of these players, we might be trying to sneak them in that practice squad, man. We don't want you to see too much. Like holding.
You think there's a little gaming shit going on? Think there's a little bit of gaming shit going on? They don't want to put everything out there.
Possibly be, because we keep seeing Cropper out there. We keep, and Mingo and Tolbert. And if you're gonna keep Tolbert, then
yeah, I was really disappointed at like how they holding. I'm like, y'all done seen enough to already know. He didn't play a lot, man. He got in the game really late. As you was noting, like why we ain't seeing, So I don't know if I'm thinking Cropper and them, like, are they already? This is it, like y'all gone, like, if y'all don't have no big performances, then, that might be it for you.
Right. Or auditioning for somebody else.
Mm.
Man, that's what I'm saying. We didn't see we saw some of Flournoy, but he wasn't out there first off the rip.
No, he wasn't. Flournoy played a lot earlier than the other guys that we're talking about. Remember, we didn't see Brooks until late, Holden super late. Yeah. So,
right.
Flournoy, though, I think he did, he was one of the guys that he was able to connect with. Flournoy makes plays, man. He makes plays. I think he had a couple of catches. I don't remember how many receptions that he had, but I know he did get his hands on a couple.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he had one. He had that bad holding call, though. That was tough.
That was tough. But when we looked at it, we looked at the replay, man, live. It didn't look bad, but he did get him a little bit, on the backside of the jersey. Got a little squeeze in there on it.
Yeah, he had a couple. He had 2 catches, 2 for 27.
Then we, just talking about the run game, man. The run game wasn't effective either. And I think we both felt like, Sanders just watching him carry the ball and what he was able to bring to the table, that wasn't it, man. Ain't it. So I just feel like I think Mafa, he's a 7-round selection. I think maybe he gives you just as much as that guy or more, So if I'm looking at it from evaluating it, I mean, I know he's the veteran guy, but I might go ahead and he's had issues with being healthy. We've already saw that, early on in Oxnard. So I would probably say that would be the guy that I would probably look to probably move. And I think we're getting, like you said, man, I think we are getting all signs that they may be, going to move on from Deuce Vaughn. He's just not even getting enough work. Really, I don't think in these games to be fair to him, to give him an evaluation. I just think that's one of the things I think maybe they may move on from him.
Yeah. And again, going back to that Trayshawn Holden, we only give Phil Moffitt 3 carries, man. And maybe are we hiding him, trying to stash him on the practice squad, not letting him, do too much or show too much? And because you want to see a young guy, Miles Sanders, man. When he did not get that first down, it seemed like he pulled up. He didn't go try to run through. I said,
it was on like a 3rd and short, or was that the 4th down call?
That was a 4th.
Yeah, it was 4th down, man. Yeah, he did not go, all out to get that first down. He didn't lower that shoulder, man, and you know what I mean, and fight through it. I agree with the coach. And then, I really do think that I think Maffa, man, is a guy that I think they've already made a decision that they are going to keep. Yeah, I mean, so it might be on that practice squad, but like you said, man, he's ran good enough where he might even get a chance with another team. So that would be a gamble if you do put him there. So
that's why we're not playing him too much after that first one, man.
Yeah.
He's a 7th-round pick. He's a 7th-round pick. And if you don't see too much film off of what you saw of him coming out of college, why are you going to try to pick him off the practice squad when you didn't want to draft him? You had an opportunity to. So we might be able to if we don't show too much more, which it seems like they might not. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing, man. I don't know. Because let me tell you real quick, man.
Okay.
As a coach, sometimes, man, you got to instill this confidence. You know what I mean? It's cool trying to hide and not show your hand to the league on what you're trying to do. But at the same time, you want to come out of these games with some sort of confidence. You know what I mean? So this vanilla stuff is not it, because we're not even a proficient at the basics. So, man, let's just do some of what you're going to do, man. Give us some confidence as fans, like, oh, okay, I can see it. Even though our best aren't playing, shoot. I think Ravens only had 2 defensive starters play yesterday, and we couldn't move the ball. You know what I mean? So, man, let's. I don't want to hear, man, look at this. We're doing this against our own defense. Come on, man. That's cool. Let's see it out here. Just give us a little glimpse, man. And so the guys can feel like, man, we got something.
So what you think you would like to see a little bit more of, like, what, maybe Williams get some carries out there to see, like, what that looks like? Or, and I'm just strictly talking about right now on the offensive side of the ball.
No, absolutely. Maybe scheme.
Oh, okay. I got you. When you said vanilla, you did say vanilla. Yeah, you did say vanilla.
Give us. If you're doing all of these shifts and motions, give us something to where we see it out here, and the guys do it, and they like, oh yeah, this is only this ain't nothing compared to what we got in our bag. You know what I mean? Now we just out here getting our ass beat, man. I don't like that.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, man. I'm trying to just keep in mind that it is preseason. You know what I mean? These wins or losses don't mean anything. Main thing is try to get these guys as far as you can evaluate and get these guys off the roster who's not going to be there, and try to make sure you know who is. But yeah, I thought I liked seeing Booker yesterday, being able to get his reps in, what he could do on the offensive line. Nate Thomas, I thought Nate Thomas did a good job out there as far as what we were able to do as far as offense. Like you said, not being able to do anything as far as, what we were doing from the quarterback position really, put a stain on it, but we've got to do better, man. I definitely would like to see a lot more of this offense, like you said. Schotty was talking a lot about the change in the motions and segmented, the way we're going to do it, our wide receivers and things like that. He just haven't seen it, and the explanation has been that they don't want to show anything. So, yeah, that's tough. That's tough, man. That's tough.
It is what it is. Hopefully, because now the first time we're gonna pull it out is with Philadelphia.
Right.
A Super Bowl chance for everybody to see.
Yeah, unless he's gonna show something in this next preseason game. But the way it's been is so far what we saw from the scrimmage into the 2 preseason games is that he's gonna keep it just basic as much. What we see that fake rollout bootleg to the tight end, we saw that 5 times, at least 5 times. So they've been running a mess out of that. So oldie but goodie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about a little bit about on the other side of the ball, Coach. On the defensive side, it was still a struggle to stop the run. Still having problems with stopping the run. I was impressed on that. I was watching a little bit of the replay. I was really impressed on the first initial defense possession that we had. We had a 3 and out. We went in with Mozzie. We went in with Perion Winfrey. We had Marshawn Nealon, and we had Sam Williams up front. Linebackers was Sanborn, Maris, and who else was out there at the other linebacker? Do you remember? Damone Clark. How can I forget? No. Damone Clark was who the other one was, man. And I thought that sequence or that first possession that they played very solid, man. We was able to get a couple of nice little run stops. They completed a pass. Sanborn was right on the money. We shut him down, and then we get, and then Damone Clark made a hell of a stop, man. And Damone Clark, man, had he was probably the person I would say if we had an MVP on the defensive side of this game. Damone Clark was everywhere. I mean, he did it. He did everything. He's growing. And like you said, maybe underneath this Eberflus system, he may get, rejuvenated. But he looked really good out there. And I say all that to say that first possession is how I, pictured us playing. And then, as we win a couple other possessions, the run heavy plays from the Ravens really, we couldn't do anything to stop that.
Absolutely. And that's what they said. We're going to take you to Pound Town after that first possession because they started off pass. They had 3 of the 4 plays were pass plays in that first possession. And so then after that, run. They had 4 straight runs on us, right. Man. They go 13, 8, 20 some yards on us in 4 plays. So it's we're done with the Mozzie experiment. We looked at we watched that together yesterday. We saw him on skates. It's 6 yards down the field. And he's making the tackle, man. It's just like, come on, man. You can't get driven down the field. At least Toa, you have to double team.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to double team him. Perion Winfrey is quick off the ball. He's splitting. Shoot, even Ernest Brown is 51. You know what I mean?
I like him. I like him, man. I like him just because of what he's able to do, and he's just a disruptor. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, his jump from the snap count, he's the first guy off the ball. And he's usually, getting in pushing in that backfield. And I liked what he did. Like I said, the only thing I noted was that he looks like he's light. He doesn't look like he's very heavy. But he at least, he gave to me a lot more I saw from him than I did from Mozzie or Toa. Toa, he played, he put a lot of effort in. He's just learning how to play. He's still got to keep his pads low. He's got to use his hands when he's out there, man. He's letting people get into his body a little bit too much. But yeah, I'm totally with you. Mozzie experience, that's done. We're not getting anything from that young man right now, unfortunately. Now it's a pride thing about where you took him at. So if so what? You took him in the first. Now it doesn't work out. We've seen that with Taco Charlton. The same situation. You have to move on, man. Just have to move on from it.
We done signed 3 former first rounders, so
there you go.
You know what I mean?
And that we seeing what they doing. What's my man named Peyton Turner? I'm not getting a lot out of these
He's
guys.
good. No. He's done. He's done because you say you talk about Peyton Turner as a DN, and you compare him to a James Houston, and James Houston is just I think he has to make this 53-man squad, man. And I know it's crowded at that defensive end position, but 53, James Houston, every time he was on that field, you noticed him. He was in the backfield. He had two quarterback. Of course, we didn't have a quarterback sack out of how many dropbacks did they have? Out of 40 pass attempts, no sacks. But he was at least one who was getting in the backfield. I think he had 2 quarterback hits. So I mean, he's always there. He's always there. What, he had 2 solo tackles, 2 quarterback hits. He's one of the main ones that I noticed because 41. He's gonna need some time, I think. And we talked about Sam Williams.
Yeah, Sam Williams, man, I really was expecting a lot more out of him. But I think the biggest thing was like, I seemed like what looks like to be a lot of things with him that was just undisciplined. A lot of times it seemed like he was just going up the field. A couple times it looks like he dipped in where he let a running back bounce outside of him. His pass rushing, he was really getting moved, like I said, in the running game. Yeah, I didn't really like what I seen from Sam, man. I'm hoping that he comes back in this next preseason game and gives us more than what we saw. Yeah, with Izzy, man, with the young rookie, he just needs time. I see him out there. He's working hard. You see the explosive, the way he's getting off on the ball. But he's just got to figure it out, man. He's got to figure out what move he's going to use and then go with it. Maybe in his head a little bit too much and just thinking, and rather just just letting his natural abilities show. But I think he'll be all right. He's going to be able to help us this year. Marshawn Nealon, man, I really was impressed with him. I like what I've seen in him both scrimmage games or preseason games. So I thought with some bright spots out there, man. Like you had some positive and you had some negatives. It was more negatives there was positive when I'm talking about with the defensive line and with the linebackers. Sanborn, I saw Sanborn make some really nice plays, filling in the hole. But then when I was looking back at the replay, he missed a lot too, man. There was a lot of times where they just couldn't find a play. Just sometimes, like their responsibility, gap responsibility, and flowing to the ball just didn't get there. Or maybe one time or two was a step slow on those outside runs.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, man. But we're not gonna gloss over this because we've I know I have been real critical of Damone Clark. Especially last year. He was not it.
Yeah.
But to see what he's done now, man, because he was one of the bright spots yesterday. He really had a strong game. 7 tackles, six solo tackles, and 2 tackles for loss, man. He was really
Like I
the
said, it
bright
was
spot,
my
and I'm really happy for him, man, because he came in. He was one of those that we always do, the injury,
yeah.
injury guy we draft, and had a
Then he got
decent
injured.
first year.
And
Huh?
then he had an injury
Yeah,
that took him off the
absolutely.
field too.
Yeah, so he has really come on, and I mean, looks like a solid spot to make the team, man. Make this 53-man roster, man. He's played his way on. I'm happy for him.
Me too. Me too, man. It's a good story. Like you said, man, as I said earlier, he's in my MVP of the defense yesterday. I mean, so we've had a couple of things that are bright spots within our linebacker group. You had Maris who balled out, who had a really good game in the first game. It's been a bright spot in camp. Now you're talking about getting great play from Damone Clark, who can either be a starter or a backup. Sanborn's been, he showed some signs, being a solid linebacker. Now we got to talk about your guy Murray. What is he going to be able to bring to the table? If he can come in and he's, he hasn't got any preseason work. I'm thinking that means that he's been playing very well. He's been doing what you expected you if you didn't want to see him early. So this third game is the game I guess we'll get to see Mr. Murray, but he needs to be really good for us in that linebacker unit because he's expected, I think, to do a lot. He's expected to do a
Absolutely.
lot. Yeah.
He makes a lot of tackles, but man, Told you his run grade is not the best, but he's athletic. But Shamar James also played well, man. He played really well. I'm impressed with this rookie. I mean, of course, he has some mental lapses, mental miscues, missing his gaps. But I like him, man. He looks the part. He plays really. He plays well, man.
Yeah, Coach, man, the thing that sticks out about him is just not one aspect that I saw him being productive. I saw him being productive and making plays in the running game. But I think the thing that was big on him too, man, was how many times one time he almost had an interception, the ball got right past him. We had a pass deflection. He's getting back in his drops, and like we said, if we're going to play this Tampa 2 style defense in these zone drops, you got to have a linebacker out there, that's good against the pass. And he's shown us that so far. So yeah, Shamar James is really looked good out there, man. He's looked like a bright spot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's talk about what the big thing was that we wanted to keep our eye on, and that was the nickelback, the slot corner position, where we were looking at Childress, and we was looking at also Keenan Hall. Keenan Hall, as far as those guys in that battle, and I think Izzy is also in that battle. I didn't see anything from Childress in that game that made me delegate him to a lesser spot than where he's been at. I think right now he's still got a little bit of lead in that bunch or that group for that spot. I can't knock Hall though. I can't knock Hall. Hall was Johnny on the spot, got him an interception. Yeah, he read, red zone coverages very well, broke on the ball, came up and got people down on the ground. So that got a couple of bright spots there for some young guys, that can really help your team. And you think about them guys too, that they're going to fill special team spots if you put them on that 53-man roster as well. So I thought that was very good. The thing about Izzy Makumo is that Israel, they moved him around where I saw him play. He played some 2 deep safety in that game. I think I saw him out there at the wide side corner a couple too. So they're really trying to find where they can really use him at. I think we need him. I think he's can be very valuable to this team, especially with our secondary being so thin and you got people out right now. So I think he can play. He's your Swiss Army knife back there.
That's what I'm saying. He's so versatile, man. He can take the place of 2 guys. He can take the place of a third or second, third safety, as well as a nickel or second, third nickel or corner. So he's somebody who in a pinch he can get out there and he's going to compete. You know that. Tackle well too. He tackled much better, man, and that was a big thing.
Yeah.
He was a willing tackler.
Somebody else that I'm starting to realize that is really will come up and lay the hat on you as a physical guy. That's Elam. Elam, man, I wasn't like, and I didn't understand what the coverage package was early in the game. It seemed like him and Booth, they both was playing off in that first couple of series, like 8-9 yards off, and what looks to be like a cover 3 or drop, saying cover 3 or cover 4. And they were just giving up so much cushion, man, that it was an easy toss and catch for a first down. I run, push off hard, and just turn around. Those, coverages, like, and that's what I've heard about Eberflus' defense is that, a lot of times, they just want to keep people in front of them. They're going to make you, toss the short route, then they'll tackle you. So I don't know if that was what we were seeing, but it just felt like, man, I was asking, like, at first, early, was Booth scared, because he was looking like he just didn't want to give up anything long. I know he's been torched, in the last couple of preseason, outings that he's been in. So I don't know if he was just giving up the cushion. And I saw Elam, that play that he almost had the interception on. He was so far back on the guy, man, that, if he was there, he would have got that tip. So I don't know if that's the kind of style that they're playing where they're just going to give up a lot of stuff in front of them. But that coverage, man, was a little loose at first.
That didn't even make sense because we know Cooper Rush can't pass over 20 yards. We talked about
that. And they should know that.
Why are you? Yeah, absolutely. So why are you giving this much cushion? He's not going to go deep. Hey, let him throw it deep.
Yeah.
It's going to be underthrown.
Right.
So, man, I definitely did not like it or understand, that coverage in the beginning.
Right. I totally get it, Coach. And, definitely, man, definitely got to give a shout out, man, to our guy, man, Booth. I've been real hard on Booth. And I am in no way saying that this makes me feel any more comfortable with Booth as far as being out there and being on an island having to cover these NFL receivers, because I just think he's got to get better. And maybe this is a step in the right direction, because one thing you know about playing the cornerback position is all about confidence. And you can see that him making a couple of plays in the game, of course, the pick six, which was really good, tip ball, he was there, had good coverage, awareness was there, and he was able to take it to the house. So I'm hoping that, maybe this spawns, his confidence level, and he starts to play and rise his level, because we are so thin that we need some guys back there that we can trust on at the cornerback position. And so then as you watch too, and kind of notice as the game went on, you started seeing get his hands on a couple of balls that, was throwing some pass breakup. So, maybe he's being a little bit more confident in what he's doing. Before I was watch his tape and I would see he would sit, on a lot of the routes. And so when you're sitting on routes, that's a gamble. You're thinking that, you're perceiving that the wide receiver is going to break and sit down. If he give you any type of hezzy move and keep going, you're in trouble. And so it seems like with maybe him playing that cushion off a little bit more, they've been telling him like, hey man, stop gambling so much, be solid more in your technique. But yeah, I just wanted to give that man a shout out, because we've definitely talked about him about some of the things that he's done and how he's done got lit up. So just wanted to give him a shout out.
My man.
That's hard to do, man. I've been hard on Booth, man. I've been hard on Booth, but hey, the guy made a play.
Yeah, he made it was a great play. We needed that. That was our only
touchdown. Yeah.
But you know what? That the receiver, that was terrible. He couldn't get turned around. He came to him, man. But he was there. And like you said, that gave him some confidence, because he was playing with more confidence after that.
Yeah, he had a little swag about him. A little swag about him after that.
If he's on that field, we in trouble.
Yo, you was talking about you wanted to see what your question was on Childress, was on his coverage. Did he show you enough?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it, man. Like I said, I gotta see the whole game and what he did, but I think he got beat on one or two passes, but for the most part, of course, it's going to be different when you get in there and they like, oh, we got this young boy, let's isolate him, let's figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at it, man. And he's a willing tackler. He's going to come up and lay the wood.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's definitely. He definitely want to get in there and mix it up. He ain't gonna be a guy that's gonna be waiting for anybody else to tackle him. He gonna come in there and stick his head in there. So I think that was something that really stuck out about him as well too. But yeah, I thought Childress did pretty good. The one play where he was beat, he recovered. He didn't try to track the ball. He put his head down, caught back up to the receiver, then got his head back up. Got his hands on that ball. So yeah, I think right now, man, if we have to go out there with a slot guy. With Trey Diggs not being healthy, you're not going to be able to slide Bland over in there. You got your guy, the other corner that's out, Carson, who probably could have played in there. So somebody's going to have to play, man. Unfortunately, it's going to be against them Eagles. So they're going to get baptized early. It's going to be a lot of pressure on them. But at least from what I saw, Coach, he will compete, man. He will compete. We ain't going to have to worry about that. He's going to go out there and give it his all. Safety play. What did you see from the safeties out there? I was trying to think about some notes that I took on the safeties. I know I did see Wanye. He's rocking number 2 now. I saw Wanye out there playing a little bit. He got a few snaps in this game.
And nothing.
I think Smith, though. Smith playing safety, or is he playing corner?
Mike Smith Jr.
I think he playing a little bit. Yeah, he's playing safety. And I think I do remember jotting down a couple of positives for him. He had a couple of plays. I think he gave up something and then came right back the next play, and made a really nice stop on a pass, or came up and laid a nice hit. So I know his name was out there.
Yeah, I think he's one of our undrafted free agents. So, he's playing well. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he's a practice squad guy. You know what I mean? Somebody who we can get out there, just get more reps. So... But Tony Pride, what you think about him?
Tony Pride, man, he got lucky a couple of times, I thought, out there. I thought for sure he got caught on a pass interference that they did not call. I'm trying to think, was it Pride that they had to review the play? Yeah, I think it was Friday. The replay, we went to the booth. Remember it? They gave dude the catch too.
Oh yeah, it was too.
Yeah, I don't remember if that was him or not, but he fought, man. He fought, man. I say he fought out there. Pride fought, man. He had a couple of one-on-one battles that he you know what I'm saying, he came up with. You know, so I ain't have no problem. I was remembering jumping up, doing like the lockdown, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. But yeah, I didn't have no problems with him, man, at all, man. I you know, the guys that I really wanted to see, you know, I thought I wanted to see Sanborn. Got a chance to see Sanborn. And I thought Sanborn, he's gonna be okay at linebacker. I got to see more of him, but I didn't think he was just trash. You know what I mean? I thought he did okay. It was somebody else that I didn't want to leave off. When you brought it up earlier, man, James Houston. I'm too, man. I'm impressed with him, Coach, man. I didn't get to. I know you had a little earlier brought it up, but yeah, I just want to get that out too, man. I was really impressed with what he did. Here's a guy that you ended up bringing in, signing late, and out of all of the defensive guys, I know he was the one guy that had that big hit on Cooper Rush that you know stopped that third down. He got to him and got a hit on him, and it was a pass that was thrown short. But yeah, he probably had the best numbers as far as getting after the quarterback, you know, yesterday night. So he's made a case that you got to give him at least another look, man. It's so hard, you know, with that defensive room, but we'll see, man. I kind of feel like, man, it's going to be something we're going to pick up somebody off of waivers, man, to help us at that defensive tackle position. We need somebody else, man. We got to get somebody else in there, man, that we can really count on. Right now, I don't feel like, other than Osa, I don't know what Solomon Thomas is going to give us. I haven't seen him either. Not sure what he's going to give us. But I just want somebody, man, that you know, from week to week, that you can count on. This guy, he's going to be out there. He's going to cause some type of disruption. He's going to be in a backfield. I don't have that guy other than Osa that I feel like with that.
And he's not going to get pushed 5 yards down the field.
Yeah, man. Mozzie looked like he called an Uber, man. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like. He looked like they was dropping him off, man. Like he was catching rides, man. I mean, it'd be farther. Remember, I was like, man, what is he doing?
That's real.
Oh, man.
Ah, man. But it is what it is. So I don't know how he's going to go next week. Are we going to see some more guys? We will see. Last preseason game is Friday.
Yeah. So I guess from what Schotty said at the press conference today, they was going to watch film. He was going to put together 2 practices where they were going to be fully padded. It would be very physical. Still doesn't feel like he has a physical football team, something that they are learning to be physical. So, yeah, got to get there. You know, it's not there right now. We are talking a good game about how we want to run the football. And we have not we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I know we're not seeing, you know, the big guy 73 in their guard who makes a big difference. But from the guys that we've got in the scheme, I mean, it's all got to be married together. You got to think about what Schotty and them is putting together as far as they play calling and the situation that they're putting these guys in. And it hasn't been there. So I want, this is a team. This is a collective team thing. So we're not just talking about what the players is doing. We also got to talk about what that coaching staff is doing, game plan and the packages and the situations that they're putting them in.
Yes, sir. Yes. I'm with
you. Yes, sir.
So,
Coach T, man, that's you know, we ran through it, man. You know, special teams, man. Aubrey looks like we said, he's in rare form. He looks good. One thing that I will say is that it seems like our special teams are penalty happy. I mean, it seems like every time we get a kickoff or a punt return or something, man, it's always, you know, taking us back. If you look at the first possession where we had the safety, they punted to us. They had a penalty. We made them re-punt again. And then we got a penalty. So, you know, we're starting out down around our 10-yard line. Like, you know, that stuff you got to clean up.
man, yeah, absolutely.
You got to clean up. Like you said, the Florine holding call that killed the drive. Them is the kind of things that we got to clean up. But this is why it's training camp. This is why this is preseason. We are going to hope that they're getting everything out the way right now, getting these boys back. We got another preseason game. Coach, our preseason third and final preseason game will be at home against who?
Atlanta Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons Friday.
We got them birds coming in.
Eastern.
Got them
Yes,
birds
sir.
coming in. So
On NFL Network.
one more dress rehearsal. Coach T, man, give us those final words. Give us something. I know what you got for us, but give it to us.
Yeah. Everybody should know. Pay that man.
There
Pay
we
that
go.
man. Pay that man.
There we go, man. We out, man. We be back with you midweek, man. We're going to try to get some of this film broke down and go over it so we can sit down and see what's really being real, who's doing what, and who ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. Go Cowboys. Peace.
One love. Go Cowboys. Be safe.